Hello, my name is Michael Elder and I work for Onslow County Schools in the Division of Academic Innovation and Gifted Services, and it is our privilege to administer the Magnet School Lottery each year. In anticipation of the lottery, we want to give you this brief online overview. We have three magnet school programs here in Onslow County Schools. We have at the elementary level, Clyde Irwin Elementary Magnet School of International Studies and Cultural Arts. And we have Northwoods Elementary Magnet School of Technology and Innovation. Northwoods Elementary is a year-round school. They follow a modified calendar, so that's one thing to check out if you're interested in that for your child. And at the middle school, we have Newbridge Middle Magnet of Science, Technology, Engineering, the Arts, and Mathematics. Each of these schools brings a unique focus to what they do. They follow the same standard course of study as all of our elementary and middle schools. They just take it from a little different vantage point often. At the lottery itself, we will run a priority list for Newbridge Middle Magnet School, and then we do them for each of the elementary schools as well. Before we jump into this timeline, let's take a look at the overall timeline for our magnet schools. This is posted on the website as well. Beginning on Friday, December 11th, we will make the application available online. There is no advantage to applying earlier or later. We will publicize the application being available in as many methods as we possibly can. Those will include school messenger. Those will also include the district newsletter, our social media, and any way that we can possibly get the information out to folks. Around January 11th, or the week of January 11th, we will send paper application information. We have a new brochure that we send home, and that goes home with all students from pre-kindergarten through 7th grade. That alerts hopefully everyone in our community that the applications are available. If parents prefer a paper copy of the application, those are available beginning again in January at each of our elementary schools and our middle schools. There is no advantage to using the paper application or the paper pencil application or the online application. It's just whatever is most convenient for you as a parent or for our community members. That leads us up to some open houses. So some folks may want to visit the schools or the school that they're interested in. So on February 11th, we hold open houses at each of our magnet schools. We then ask that all applications are returned by Friday, February 26th. That gives us a short amount of time to turn around and prepare all of our pieces for the lottery itself. The lottery itself will be held at Jacksonville High School on March 8th, and that leads us into our lottery day itself. So on March 8th, we'll hold that lottery. Again, we're going to walk through that process here in just a moment. The lottery gives us a priority list on March 8th. Doesn't necessarily tell us who is accepted and who is not. The way you find out if you're accepted or if you're on the waiting list, you will receive a letter. Again, either way, whether you're accepted or if you're on the waiting list. We mail those out on March 14th to each person who has applied. They then have about a month to return the contract. Some folks may decide to turn down the contract. Sometimes plans change and people will turn down the offer for a magnet school. And so we ask that all contracts are returned to us by April 15th. We then go to our waiting list. And again, we go back to the list that was created at the lottery itself. And we repeat that process of looking at the waiting list, sending out more letters throughout the summer, in fact, in many cases, and right up until school begins. Obviously, that's a little earlier to year-round school. So if you have any questions throughout the process, you can always contact me. Again, my name is Michael Elder. Or after April 15th, you may contact Pam Brewer, and her extension is there on your screen. She keeps up with the list throughout the summer, and she can let you know where you are in the waiting list. We'll also post your child's information as far as where they are on the priority list on our website. However, we want to maintain privacy for your child and for yourself. So we use a unique code for each child, and that being their first initial, last initial, and their 6-digit birth date. So you will see that information on our website, and you can check out where you fall on the priority list. And we move that around every time someone is added to the magnet school. You will hopefully have a chance to see our flyer, this flyer, or several others that will be posted in a variety of places in our community. Again, the link here on the screen is the one that will take you to the magnet school application, that being the http://bit.ly/magnet-application16-17. We'll put a quick link for that on our website as well. This gives you some of those dates that we just discussed and reinforces the idea that we send home the brochure with each of our students. Most often the question we get is, how does the lottery itself work? So we have created here just a generic list of made-up data. So these are, you can see the personal code, that unique code. So these are just randomly selected or randomly created ones. But let's walk through, how does the lottery itself work? Because most folks just want to see that how is this done, and how is it done in a way that's fair for all students. So we use Microsoft Excel to run the program, and again, we do this at Jacksonville High School, and we do it where you can attend if you'd like to on the day of the lottery. So what we do here is we use the random number generator. So you can see this is as if we were doing this, say, for Newbridge. So you see the tab here at the bottom. We can pretend these are for Newbridge kids. And we could say, let's create a random number. So we're going to say equals RAND, random number between, and then we typically tell it 1 and say 10,000. That gives us a nice round number. You'll see a number be created. That'll change here in just 1 second. We copy that number across all the candidates. So you can imagine at the lottery itself, this may go on for 200 students, but we've just shortened it here for the ease of seeing it here on the screen. We can see that number. Now, because this is a formula, what we have to do is we're going to copy it and we're going to paste it over here as a value. So I'm going to pick over here in Excel to paste it as a value, so that way it won't change. Now you'll notice the formula will continue to change throughout this. So when I click the priority value, it's going to keep the value that was originally created in that formula, but now the formula's changed. So we go back here to our formulas and we delete all those out. So this is, you'll notice these folks are all now in order, or not in order, so they've been given a priority value or a number. What we do next is we sort that from smallest to largest, and that puts our folks in order from the smallest number, 1,336, all the way up to our highest number, 9,405. We would then put those in order, 1, 2, 3, and we bring that right down through so it counts all the way up. And again, at the lottery itself, that would go all the way up to, say, 150 or 200 people that may have applied. This then is the order that we keep. So let's just pretend that we had 3 spots that were available at this grade level, and of course there'd be more than that when it comes especially to Newbridge. So we would send an application, or we would send a contract to this student, say a contract to this student, and a contract to this student. Everyone from there on would receive a waiting list letter. So in this way, we know that the next person that we would go to would be this person, whoever that happens to be. So we would offer contracts to these 3, and then we would move on and jump in the order that these are listed for waiting lists. The one thing that can happen is that a student higher up on the list, let's say that this student happens to be a sibling with this student. We do not separate families, so many cases, this happens to be twins or something like that. So you may notice that sometimes a student that is listed lower is accepted. The reason that may happen, or the only reason that would happen, is if they happen to be a sibling of a student who's selected higher on the list. So we hope that gives you an overview of the process, how our magnet school lottery works itself, and gives you an idea of what some of the choices are here for you and your children here in Onslow County Schools. If you have any questions, again, my name is Michael Elder, and I can be reached here at the central office. You can certainly call. My extension is there at the bottom of the screen. And we look forward to serving you and your children here in Onslow County Schools, whether it's at one of our magnet school sites or one of our other school sites.